I got bit by a mosquito or something. Whoa. Whoops. Wake up, little light. I went to use my handheld fan with the mister thing in it. I was gonna put it in my backpack because I was walking around in case I got hot or I saw somebody else that got hot. It because I went up to the river yesterday, to the Rio Grande, whatever, and I walked up to the hot springs because I'd never been before. It's cool. It's a nice walk. You have to pay. I have to pay attention to where my feet are. It's not like I would go. I did make a little couple shorts. Made a video. I showed it to you, with the picture with where it got photobombed by a bee. The flower got photobombed by a bee. The bee's blurry, but I saw it fly through. I'm like, oh, did I get it? And I looked at the picture. I was like, I just saw it later. I said, I got it. I got it. I got the bee. Those are cool to me. I got a picture last night with the moon bright, and then it has Jupiter right to the left, about 6-7 o'clock clock position from the moon. Got a good picture of that. Yesterday was a busy day. I walked a lot. I walked. Bro, I walked downtown. I went to town. I got a cup of coffee, and it was so. I think they were trying to do me a solid by putting extra syrup in it. It was so sweet, I couldn't drink it. So and then it was like half full because I guess they put the rest was like whipped topping, but I don't like whipped topping on my coffee. I like coffee in my coffee. Silly me. And then I was like, well, damn, I didn't get to, I was so sad. Sometimes, I don't know. Cup of coffee is 50-50 as far as I'm concerned. You win some, you lose some. You don't, and it was just not a good coffee day. So today was a good coffee day because I took that cup of coffee from yesterday and I made my brew from this morning that I make with my decaffeinated beans and then added to it. So it worked out. It made it better with my decaffeinated pinyon beans. No, I didn't. I got a different kind this time. I got Gabalia or whatever, but it's still decaf. Um, Power went out today. Oh wait, I wasn't done talking about yesterday. All this stuff. So that after I walked around town a couple times yesterday through the park and stuff, got to hang out with my buddy Augustine. He's a very talented stone carver. He's been doing it 15, 20 years. His birthday's tomorrow. He has the same birthday as my sister that died September 23rd, 2022. She would have been 40 years old tomorrow. So his birthday's tomorrow, and he's a very talented stone carver, and they're selling in the Harwood Museum. They're selling his stone carvings. I told him I'd help him set up a freaking online store or like a social media. Because, I mean, his freaking, it's like, I don't know, it's cool. So he has a piece like this, and then you got feathers on one side. Alright? And then where he's working, though, he's actually working on. Is that an Adobe? No, what is that? Oh, that's a deer. He's working on a deer. So the front of that is a deer. I love the spots. Now, on the other side, you could see it better from here. He has horses. He did horses. This is what's on the other side of the piece. So I told him, I said, dude, everybody around here ain't nobody got no money. See, it's a tourist place. Okay, I'm focused, Marge, for focus. So, so yeah, he's real talented. So I want to help him put it out there. He'll make a lot more. Cause yeah, it's a tourist place, but every time he put somebody at local, they put somebody's stuff in a museum, they want 15% at least for somebody else's creativity. That's I don't know. It's all weird. But so after I walked around town, hung out with my buddy Augustine, uh, we parted ways, and then I went down, and then I went out to the John Dunn. I came home and fed Mom lunch, and Mom had a nice lunch. Dear sweet friend Earth Angel sent us some freaking pizza, some food, a bunch of food from Chicago, and it's so good. So we had veggie pizza yesterday. It had like the Chicago pizza deep dish with the tomatoes on top. That just tastes that God, it tastes so fresh and delicious. And then it had green onions, green chili, but not spicy, and mushrooms. And Mom ate so good. I ate a couple bites, but man, when I find something that she eats good, I just assume let her eat good. So got her lunch, took dogs for a walkabout round, and then head up to the John Dunn Bridge, and it was so packed. There were so many people there. And I decided to walk up to the hot springs because I'd never been before. And there's a bunch of people there. There's like 8, 10 people in the hot springs. So, and on this other side, up farther, there's a couple old codgers. And I smoked a doobie with them. Sometimes it's nice to be polite, but sometimes sometimes I'll smoke with people and I will not put my mouth on the freaking joint. I'll do it, put it between a few fingers, and still get to smoke, but you know, and so because this one, I don't know, people do so much weird stuff, and I'm just like, they don't take care of themselves, so they get funky funk, and sometimes I don't want I just gotta be careful. So parted ways, walked back up, came home, hung out for a little while, and listened to some astrology reports. Saw how there's so much space weather going on. Every now and again, I'll dip into the world and look at the media, and it's just, God, people are getting so violent. I know it's all related. The astrology, people are getting goofy. And then they were having a get together. That there's a group. It's just called Taos Pride, and it's so funny. They do meet and greets all over. And I guess either the people are cool, but they don't have the amenities to meet what the group needs or want, or they have the amenities, but the people are standoffish and sucky. So it's, like everything else, everything is defined. Either you're supposed to, it's gonna happen or it's not. So they happened to set it up at the Midtown Market. I live right around the corner from there, so I was like, well, I gotta go if it's right there, because there's been a couple times they were having meetups in town, but there's Sunday from 4 to 7. Yeah, but it's just sometimes I don't like driving that far. I like getting that stuff done out of the way, so it was nice that it was just walking distance. So went up and walked in, and it was the kid that I was standing next to at the trivia night, and he was with another guy, so I met a couple nice folks, and stayed about a half hour. It's not real good for me to. It's in a bar, and it's not real good for me to hang out in bars, especially if there's, I don't know if the energy is the way it is. So I don't want to get a haircut. You go to a barber, you're going to get a haircut. You keep going to a barber, you're going to get a haircut. And you keep going to a bar, you're going to drink. And I don't want to drink. Well, I want to drink. I don't want to drink because I want to drink. But I don't want to drink because I really want it sometimes. And then I'm reminded of why I don't drink. And it takes my spirit. It takes my spirit away. It takes it right away. It takes the oxygen. The oxygen that I breathe, the connection that I have source creator, God, good orderly direction. Do the right thing. Don't do that, you know? That reason, that balance, whatever gives me the angel and the devil on my show, you know, whatever. But as soon as I take in alcohol, I mean, because the angel is talking when I go by good orderly direction. As soon as I take in alcohol, the spirits, I always go for the one that wants to have the most fun. And sometimes, and that's just all about, you know, what I want to do. It's just all about my ego. And so that takes my spirit, my connection away, and then here comes my ego. I ease God out. I ease out the good orderly direction, and then I allow my ego to run the show. And yeah, I have a lot of fun. I go to a lot of places. I got a lot of great stories. I also just don't care about anything else, you know. Like, I'd take off for days and, you know, oh, okay, Mom will figure it out. Maybe she'll look in the fridge. She won't look in the fridge. It's stuff like that, you know, the stuff I reason, the behavior I explain away. So, hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heoke empath. I just like having these little talks and the way I feel about things. And so it was kind of interesting because that was the same kid that I first saw him. He had like a panda head or something, costume head at the trivia night. And then I saw him a Friday or something. A few days ago, he was waving his flag at the town square where they have the mural set up, and I stopped and asked him what his flag meant. So that's the third time I've seen the kid in like all over the place, like. So, but there's groups of people that meet, and I'm just trying to find the ones where I fit, where, you know. I've been looking a long time, so. I haven't stopped. Sometimes I get disheartened. I go on hiatuses, but I'm always willing to try. Always trying to make new friends, so. It was a pleasant experience. It was a positive experience, and I'll see them again. Met a handful of nice people that came over and introduced themselves to me. You know. And, I don't know, we had, the one fella and I had a conversation. And somebody said something about, that's what it was. Is Drew was telling me about how either the amenities are right and the people aren't, or the people are right and the amenities aren't. That's what he was saying. And I said, I instantly kicked in. Anytime I get an opportunity to preach, really, and I said, it's because people are withholding. They're withholding. There's so many people that are in a withholding state. They're in a holding pattern, like a plane, you know, waiting, you know, so they're conserving. So they're you know, they don't want to give up too much of themselves right now because they might need it later for something. But they don't know that the real way that you rejuvenate yourself is by giving up yourself. Maybe they'll figure out. So, I said, yeah, people are withholding. I said, so many people are scared. I said, everywhere you look, people are afraid. There's stuff for them to be afraid of. You know, the weather, I finally saw a picture. Somebody else said it on social media. I wonder where they're at. About the 1906 fires, how they look like the fires now. I mean, they've been doing this stuff the whole time. They never haven't. They just keep wiping the slate clean, so the next machismo can come in and make the game of the Monopoly game how they picture it, the board how they want it, with their landscape and architecture, and hire their friends and buddies, and it's just turnover time all over. So people are afraid all over the place. So instead of finding a faith outside themselves to believe in, that that they've seen in their life and recognize where this faith outside themselves, greater themselves, this good orderly direction, things are always seem how to work out just in the nick of time. That's, to me, that's God, that's divine order, that's, do right, right happens, life lessons happen too. It's a funny little puzzle. And so many people are afraid right now, and so they're being withholding, so they don't want to help anybody. Or they're slow to. Or, it's true, I highly encourage people to learn how to do something. Learn how to do some kind of tradey trade. Learn how to make yourself something exceptional besides the freaking drones and the freaking mental minis that are gonna be a drain on society here pretty quick. Are people getting their taste yet? A bunch of people out in Nevada are getting a taste, of a stuck reality. I guess 7,000 people walked out of where they do Burning Man. I called today's talk, people play too much, too much work, and too much play, not enough work makes the world go berserk. And people are fighting everywhere. People do not have restraint of sword. And it started with lack of restraint of tongue. Well, where are they going to learn emotional control? Where are they going to learn, hey, you got a voice in your head. It's going to tell you, don't hit that kid, dude. Don't hit that person. Don't do that. Don't press that gas pedal. Don't listen to that voice. People don't. They're like, oh, this is going to be this is going to be fun. I'm going to have a good time. Whoop, whoop. We don't care about the consequence. That's all ego stuff. 60, 70,000 people went out and meet in the desert. What? Okay, there's freaking homeless situations everywhere. Last week, 93,000 people met in a stadium to watch a freaking girls' volleyball game. Okay, imagine, that's why people made pyramids. That's how the pyramids and shit got made. Because you had a whole lot of people that worked together to do shit. You got a population now, everybody's individualized. They don't recognize what the power that people can do in groups. They don't care. They'd rather sit on their ass and watch fucking people play. Or go out in the desert and freaking party, drink, carry on, fornicate, do the whole fucking chuck, all that shit that goes with it, right? Play. And then here come the floods, here come the rains. And people are like, get stuck in their play. But hey, people are still partying. They're still going around their little electric bikes, living that best life. It's like, what? But you can't have it. People can't put themselves out enough to go fucking clean up an old lady's yard or make a meal for people that don't have enough to, the cars broke down. So they got to make choices. There's so many people in this world that got to make hard choices. But more people are living in this bubble where it's like everybody's outside of me it's their problem. My brother's one of those. He's the most apathetic, and I got the empathy, he got the apathy. It's just how it is. So there's a lot. I got a buddy right now. He's feeding freaking 24, as many cats as I had at the other trailer. He's feeding 24 stray dogs that society has turned its back on, and they can't. He's trying to get the city to come in and get the moms to neuter them, because there's, the mentality of Taos, New Mexico is very primitive. They don't like changing, doing things different. So as a result, when you live in environments where people continually do the same thing over and over and over, you're living in the year in which the initiatives began. So all intents purposes, you come to Taos, New Mexico, you're coming to the timeline of 1993. They have I took that buddy that's feeding all those dogs. I'm like, he doesn't walk. He's a pedestrian, and he lives far out, so he hitchhikes in and out of town. Sometimes I pick him up, but it depends on how much time I've been driving, because I got to get home to Mom. And he was, and he hauls water for all of his dogs, and he's constant. He's got he's constant. And he's got to walk, I wonder how far it is. Probably 3/4, maybe a mile from the water source, with carrying 5-gallon buckets, and that hurts your hands, so you got to stop and rest. And so most of his day, he's spending hauling water. And I was thinking, well, a wagon, but there's so much. It's going to start raining soon. It's so much mud. It's like around here it gets when the dusty dirt gets wet, it makes this clay thick ass mud. They build houses with this shit. That's how thick it is. So first day I got the Suburban, I went out and I felt like I was in a boat. I was just like, because I was going through a good 12, 14 inches of mud. And so that's why I got the Suburban, because around here, it's 4-wheel drive's important. So I'm trying to figure out ways for him. And then the other day, he got home and his buckets were gone. He has buckets stashed all over. He has his strategies, the Pisces male. And I got a picture in my head of somebody collecting his buckets and throwing them, and just to fuck with it, because people he'll come home and people will have shot his dog. He came home 3 days in a row and he had somebody shot 3 different dogs. I mean, it's just the way human beings treat other people. The majority of the population doesn't understand how dark it gets out there. So I'm trying to help figure him out. He said he got one of those, somebody gave him one of those cubes with 125 gallons, and he has something for 25 gallons. And so next time I go pick him up, I'm going to go in the Suburban. I'll help him fill that up, and maybe give him 2 days. If he doesn't want to do chores, he doesn't have to. I know what that's like. I after the road got repoed, we were without a car. I had to walk to the store. Nice distance up hills and stuff. I still got great calves. I don't care. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, every 2.5 days to buy the biggest bag of dog food, the cheapest bag of dog food I could in my A bag. So I know what it's like. That's why I try. Most people, they don't want to look at people that are in need, that really need help. They don't want to look at it because they don't want to do the things that the people need to help them. They'd rather throw money at a charity. They call them profits, non-profit. I call them false for profits, because that shit never trickles down, right? Where I live in Taos, man. It's a tourist spot. So you have people, what people do here, they come here, they fucking eat. That's what you do. Or they walk around the plaza, or they go to the Kit Carson Park. There's some shops and shit like that. Mostly they eat and they spend money at the shops, and the people that own the shops already have plenty of money. That's how they open their shops. And it's it doesn't go to the fucking people that need it. Even the CAV, like the thrift store that's supposed to house women, like the missions and stuff around here. Nope. They don't do that either. And more people are getting destitute and sad. So they're doing those blues. Those blues. Don't do those blues. Stay away from those blues, folks. It's a slippery slope. Those blues. There's so many dirty drugs out there, and there's just as many people that want to escape from their reality. Yeah. And the direct result is creating a freaking reality sustained on altered perceptions. And then you have the earth changes that are naturally occurring with the space vibes and, the astrology, and we got some and verging on the precipice of the age of Aquarius. Well, quite frankly, shit's just gonna get weird. More and more weird. So I guess, well, we're here. We're what so many people have been talking about for the last while. Anyway. From where we're sitting, we're pretty good, huh, Ma? One day at a time, man. One day at a time. I'm just so trying to be, and I hadn't had a lot of energy, but like today, like this morning, I woke up 4 o'clock, and I was like, well, I might as well take Artie out now, and Luna out now, because they're the reasons why I get up. Like, as soon as I wake up and my soul reincarnates back into my soul sack from its nightly adventures. If I do get to fall asleep, I let the dogs out and walk around, I saw the moon with Pluto or Jupiter up there all pretty, and got a couple pictures, and then I came back and lied back down. Found a new lady. She has a small channel who I was listening to her interpretation of astrology. Fell back asleep, woke up, and it was 7:15, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is late for me. So Mom's been sleeping. It's just fall. Things are shifting, right? So I got up, made my cup of coffee, and went to town, met Batman, hung out for a little while. And it was just like nobody. There weren't a whole lot of locals out. The locals were. I don't know where the locals were. There was a lot of traffic. So still a pretty day. Nice to get out, walk around a little bit. It was a good day. It's been a good few days. I've been a little heavy in my heart because tomorrow is my sister's she would have been 40, and I was 9 years old when she was born, and I remember going to her baby shower. And there were so many people there, and there were so many presents there, and I just had to wander off and go play, and I cried because I felt bad, because I don't think I had a baby shower, and I never knew what it was like to feel such great love, and she had it, and then because of addiction and stuff, she lost her own connection to source, good orderly direction, and that's why I don't drink, because of the places it takes me, and it took her to her death, and now she's not going to turn 40 tomorrow, and she's got 5 kids. None of them talk to me. She didn't even tell them that I lived. They didn't even know I existed. Then I have a brother that wishes I didn't exist. So I'm not allowed in the lives of his daughters. And I just have been on the outside looking in my whole life. And I can handle it. I'm strong. I can handle it. I can take it all day. Yeah, I mean, I can handle it. The thing of it is, it doesn't make it less painful. And so that's why I work so hard to get the pain out, to get my yayas out. I've been going out and walking around. I've been lifting my dumbbell because I got all this energy in me. And Mom, my whole life has been saying, use your energy wisely. Because if I let that sit, that's how people get cancer. And so I got to at least try. I got to at least try to keep healthy. I got to at least try. You know, if I'm sitting around too long, you know, do something. Don't be a lazy sack of potatoes, Marge. So, you know what? I'm going to get something a little bit stronger. I got my water here, but I'm feeling something a little stronger. I took my backpack up yesterday to the meet and greet because the store... It's so funny how God has always blessed us with the corner store nearby, Ma. Wherever we lived. In kind of proximity where I could just walk. Not in Benson so much. These are my favorite. They're cherry Sprite. I'll drink like this much. And then I'll put it back in the fridge. So one of these lasts me, 3-4 days? Because I'll just take pulls off it. So I get two. I get 2.5. They're $2.50 a piece. Fuck. But still, it's a nice little treat. And I freaking deprive myself of so much other shit. I really do, dude. I don't think... I gotta see, that's why I'm trying to, use less sugar in my cookies and stuff like that. Because... and find alternatives, which I'm really excited about because they're starting to bring CBD flower here finally, and they want to declassify marijuana as a whatever type, whatever classification is now. It's the same as heroin, all those junky drugs. We don't belong there. We ain't never belong there. That's what the bureaucrats did. See, they fucking do shit they never should have done in to begin with, and then they backpedal and they push it back in. It's so stupid. So they can so they can become millionaires, while everybody else freaking falls through the cracks that they fucking make from their ignorant, negligent, freaking bureaucratic, freaking nonsensical bullshit. Because those people, they don't even know what it's like to live a real life. There's some dude from New Mexico, he was a senator. Read the comments about his shit that he's dead. There's about, some of them are all, oh, rest in peace. Most of them is like, dude fucking ran with Epstein. He was a pedo too, you know? It's just another fucking scumbag in his suit. You can't fucking dress a turd up and sell it to the world that it's still not a fucking piece of shit. But they do in DC, just like they do in Hollywood. Notice that they're talking shutdown again, government shutdown at the same time that Hollywood's on strike. Guess what? Defund all you stupid motherfuckers. The whole entertainment industry is just absurd. It's just as stupid as the military. They just misappropriate just as much funds. There's homeless people everywhere. You know why mental health is at a crisis right now? Because there's so many people that nobody gives a shit about. Because most of the majority of the people on this planet only give a shit about themselves. So, I'm trying to teach people how to take care of other people. in ways that they would never think of. They just don't. So, it's okay, Artie. She's just pissy old lady. Y'all are pissy. Every time Artie walks by, Luna barks at him. Or Benny. Not Tucker, though. She loves her Tuckerton. Tucker is her love nugget. Her little golden love nugget. They're just getting all crotchety. Aren't we all getting old and crotchety, Ma? Yeah? You ready to brush teeth? Yeah? Huh? You're fine? Okay. So yeah, power went out today for a couple hours. Like right when I got home. I got Mom lunch. She ate the rest of their leftover pizza. She ate 3 pieces. She grubbed it. That pizza's so good. I might make the sausage one tonight. No, that might be a little too late to eat. But I'm kind of hungry. I just ate a couple pieces, slices of cheese. But I ran out of crackers. I'll figure something out. So anyway, I was thinking about going back into town. And flicker. I look over and I see, because the microwave clock and the clock on the oven, they flickered. And then the swamp cooler went out. And I was on the phone with my auntie, my earth angel, and everything, it started flickering. I said, I'm going to lose you, is what I said. And then phone cut out, but it went to YouTube still, or it went to my music that was playing. And then that played for a good while until it stopped recognizing, because I don't have any kind of cell service where I live, so it's all wireless. So the power went out, and I was like, I was waiting for a couple minutes, and then it like flickered after like 2 minutes or so, it flickered one more time, so it showed signs of life, and then it was gone, and I was like, all right, so I waited. I'm like, I'm gonna wait a couple minutes, because it was like 3:30, because I sent a text message as soon as it happened. I said the power went off, and they all popped. They didn't go through. It says it went back on at 3:37, so it went off at like 3:32. So it was like 2 hours that it was off. So after a good 5 minutes or so, it was still even. I mean, the sun is past the trees. We're already in fall. We've been in fall northern New Mexico for a month now in Arroyo Hondo. It's not particularly hot. It did start getting hot in here. And so I went and got the generator and drug it out to the porch and started it all up. And laid down, because that's all. I mean, Mom, because that's what it could power a lot more. I want to get a propane cooking setup so I can cook on the porch for when it happens. This is like the 6th time in probably 2 months. Earlier I said a month, but it's probably 2 months, 6th time. That's why I bought the generator last year, in the event that this stuff happened. And then it happened, and then like, what was it, back in July, it happened like in a week. It happened every day, like for 2 hours, 3 times. And then it's happened a few times since then, so it's been 5-6 times in the last 2. And I get from what the word on the dirt road is, it's because all the wires and cables and shit are underground. And so, like, there's gerbils and ground squirrels and shit like that eat through them. And then plus the internet that broke over here, it was like somebody shot it out. Like with the gun. They took it out with the gun. So for all these people that are living in these .com bubbles, Your bubbles are about to pop. So all these people making money based on shit that you need electricity for, your world's about to change. I don't care how big of the city you live in. Things are gonna get weird, man. The flooding is already freaking compromising infrastructure a lot of places. You know? So, just stuff is changing. I just really encourage people to learn how to do something. Something more than, I don't know, the oldest trade in the world. Oh, here's another landslide. It goes off all the time. I must have had 350 notifications since yesterday. Landslide, 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 landslide. And they're all different places all around the world. And it's all because of the floods. Landslide, landslide. Where are the hurricanes? I don't even know what's going on with the hurricanes. Volcano, volcano. Oh, there's another tropical storm in the Atlantic that they're pulling out of their ass. What's this one? But it's just going out, so it ain't going. 11E. There's turnover at the weather department with their naming schemes. It's such bullshit, dude. Bureaucracy, it's also stupid. I know I was a part of these systems. I had to deal with the freaking dumbasses. I'll deal with egos. Just do what I say. What you say doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter. Do what I say. I'll never forget it, man. How when Offit, after I left, or it was right at the same time I was transitioning, I was getting out. The aid shop. No, it was after. No, maybe it was I remember going over there, though. Maybe it was I was on terminal leave or something. But the aid shop was in the perfect building. They had room for dry storage for equipment. Because it gets so cold that you gotta have places to store equipment so you can start the shit when you need it. Stuff like that. I mean, it was right by the gas pumps. It like you could drive. It had a wash rack right there. You could drive through the bays. Boeing was right there. They supported the Navy planes. I mean, it was perfect. All the ready line was right out there. The maintenance yard, it was all right there. And because I don't know, colonel, some brassy bullshit, somebody came in and said, let's fucking make it harder for Age than Age already has it, and we'll put the jet shot over here, and we'll put them in with the jet shop, this tiny little freaking, like, closed in with like low. It was just, it didn't. Bad decisions. It's all bad decisions. I was in academia. Decisions based on ego. You know, I worked at Creighton, man. It's like these universities make more fucking money, and nothing that ever, all the money that they ever make never drives down, because it's all about money. Money. My whole life, we didn't have money, and I still made it through in life. We still don't have a lot of money, and I still get to, I don't know, I guess because we never made it such a, there have been times I made a lot of money in life, and I was really unhappy too. I was really overweight. I was almost 200 pounds. I hate money. I don't like money. Money is a means to make other people fucking happy, so they'll get off my back so I can live my fucking life. That's what money is to me. So, and the way that people use it to as a like it's a ribbon or a badge or something like they're an exceptional human being. If people are so rad that have all this money, they use it to do better in the world, and they don't. It's just about yachts and fucking getting that, sh- trendy shit that it's just redundant. You see 1,000 times the same person in a different version. Crystal in France, all that shit. You know, all that thug life or whatever. It's all bullshit, dude. You ain't doing nothing to add to the fucking world. How many people are not doing a damn thing to add to the world? More than not. So here we go. It's gonna get fun now. Hold on to your hats, folks. All the ticky tacky, all this insta crap, all the freaking face butt, all the freaking twatter X twatter, whatever you want to call it. At some point, people are going to be able to connect, and then they're going to have to think, what am I going to do with my life? What am I going to do now? I can't connect. It won't work. I can't control this situation. Who are people going to turn to? B, good orderly direction. That's about all I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a rad night. Peace.